All right, I guess we're live. Welcome, everybody. I thought that video was going to loop. All right, how the hell is everybody doing tonight? Um, I didn't quite get what I wanted done this weekend. I got a bunch of stuff done, but not what I wanted done. We'll get into that in a minute. Let's see. Grish is here. David is here. Josephus is here. Let's see. Doing good today. Hope same in your neck of the woods. Yeah, things aren't bad at the moment. I've got one more day of vacation or staycation left. Uh, I needed a couple extra days off. So, um, welcome, welcome. Uh, hey, Richard, welcome in. All right, so first things first. No, not that. Let me share my screen. Come over here. Apparently, I got a bump in subscribers this week. I'm up to 6,290, which is all right. Somewhere along the line, excuse me, somewhere along the line, I had got a comment somewhere. I swear I didn't delete it, but for the life of me, I cannot find the comment. Um, I know it was on a fog, or no, it was not on a fog video. It was on a, what video was it on? It was on uh, import. Was it this one? I'm thinking maybe. I thought it was on this one, anyways. So some of these videos just surprise me. You know, I'll go 6 months or a year and not get much in the line of comments, and then all of a sudden, people start commenting on 2-year-old videos. Anyways, the comment had something to do, and I don't remember the exact message in the comment, but had something to do with importing a disk and getting an error message that I've never seen before. Um, all I can say is for people that are out there that are trying some of the things I demonstrate, if I demonstrate something, it's because I made it work. If you follow what I did and it does not work for you, then something is likely wrong with your command. And since I am in no way affiliated with Proxmox, the logical next step would be go to the Proxmox forums. They are not that scary. Post your message. There's a small army of people using Proxmox, and they can probably get you an answer. I can't find your question, so I can't give you an answer. I don't even know. I don't even know at this point. Terrell's here watching on TV, so will not be able to chat. Okay, well, okay, so this is where everybody talks smack about Terrell because he can't comment back, right? Just kidding. I'm kind of in a mood. We'll get to that in a little bit. It's the mystery of YouTube creator life. You never know who will see, respond, or even who will watch. Absolutely. I've experienced the same thing. Yeah, I imagine most of us that are creators have I don't know where that comment went. I know I approved it, so it should be showing up, but it's plumb disappeared. Um, yeah. Let's see. The Proxmox forums were very helpful when the latest version refused to play nice with my R610. Was such a hassle getting it installed, but got there with some tips from the Proxmox gurus online. Absolutely. I've used them a couple of times, and I have found them to be helpful as well. Usually it's some stupid error that I've made, and I guess I can admit that, you know. Uh, all right. So let me go to another screen. Excuse me. I decided to eat enchiladas tonight, so probably shouldn't have had the second plate, but I've been having a hankering for Mexican for a while. And sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. So why is this not loading? Alright, well, let me check my phone. Now, live 9:15. Okay, so first thing I wanted to show, I'm going to take myself off screen. Joe, they are Stofers. I bought the family tray. Yeah. Okay, so what was I going to show? Yes. Netbird. So, Netbird has been on sort of a roll lately. Let's see. Netbird. GitHub. That's what I wanted. So they've been sort of on a roll lately. So they just released 29.0 like 5 or 6 days ago, and they're already up to 29.0.29.2. For those not in the know, Tailscale or Netbird is an alternative to Tailscale and TwinGate and a few others that are running on top of the WireGuard protocol for a sort of mesh VPN. If anybody's familiar, I mean, this is going back a bunch of years, but like LogMe and Hamachi was one of the first that had this sort of thing. They had sort of a corner for gaming, so you could simulate being on the same network and doing network gaming from remote locations, right? So there are a bunch of these out there now, Netbird and TwinGate and on and on and on. So yeah, one of the things that they changed is, well, not only updating to the new version of Go, but it's not the view I wanted. Let's come back here. Let's go. So coming back to 0.29, they're moving away from this turn relay or co-turn and doing their own implementation based on WebSocket. So co-turn isn't going away completely yet, but it's going to be phased out, right? And and they give you the information on the relay to set it up if you're self-hosting. So that's all good, and so they've just kept iterating on this. 29.1 improves the relay with better authentication messages, blah blah blah, and then 29.2 add GCM encryption, update core GitHub actions, the Go version, add accessible and peers endpoint, and a few other things. So I do have. So I've got this not set to launch when I start the computer, but it is in fact running 0.29.2. I've also got this running on one of the servers at the library that I was doing some testing on, and if we just open up the admin panel, I do love my password manager. So this will show you the peers that are online. So I had set up a fog server at the library for testing purposes before I left on Thursday, and then my Mac Mini here. So kind of cool. Connect. So this should show me as being online now. Right. So yeah, I think I just need to refresh that. And look at that, green dots on both. So anyway, Netbird is one of the first things that I've been playing with this past week. So that's all in good. Let me catch up on comments, and then we'll move on to the next topic. Let's see. I had to look up a Gigabyte motherboard manual to answer a question about the RGB connectors. Why they couldn't do the same is a mystery to me. Right. Spent half an hour today looking up RGB connectors. Yeah. Why the person could not do that themselves? Yeah. Normally what I'll do is I will drop a link to a to the manual, and let them go from there. I've been getting on and off, but it seems like it's been picking up a little bit lately. I've been getting questions about the various barcode scanners that I've reviewed, and one person wanted to scan a barcode and then have it move to the right, and then scan another barcode and have it move down, and it's like, you can either do tab or enter. You can't do both. I said, just turn it all off and use the arrow keys to go where you want in an Excel sheet. Yeah, Stouffer's enchiladas are pretty good. What have you done during your staycation? So I have done a bunch of cleaning. I've been, for the last month or so, I've been sort of on this rampage on the weekends, doing cleaning and organizing, and my office doesn't show it yet, but it's all part of the grand scheme of things that I'm hoping to do over the winter and everything, is getting some of this into place, and moving forward. I remember Hamachi. Yep. Sipping on his OJ with vodka. How's retirement? Sorry, I looked like my first comment didn't go through. I'm buying a 3D printer. Nice. Well, I guess I know if I need something 3D printed, I can send an order and some cash your way. I know I'll be able to get what I need. Also had to paint a spill disaster while doing more upgrades to my studio yesterday. Nice. Okay, so the next thing on my list of topics for tonight, and I need to go to the other. No, that's jumping ahead. Let's see. Is it this one? No, that's not the one I want yet. Okay, how about this one over here? MicroWin 11-1. And was it? I'm trying to remember. Must have been. Is it 23H2 test? Pretty sure that would have been it. It's only showing a 32 gig disk. Well, it's not that one. Was it Windows 11 Clone 2? That's probably it. Okay, so most of you have probably heard me talk about the Chris Titus Windows utility, right? Well, so he did a video on it and some updates they were doing the other day, and he had added or enhanced a feature that had existed for a while that I never played with. Let me see if this is actually the right one, and it is. Okay, so I'm going to delete this because I've already got a copy of it. So, one of the things that his utility can do is create a custom Windows ISO image. And let me make sure local scaling. Let me pop this out just to make it a little bit bigger. So when you run his utility, and this might take a minute to pop up. When you run his utility, there is a tab called MicroWin. So we're going to say download this from the GitHub repo, use ISO directory for Scratch directory, and then we need to select an ISO, and that's on the desktop. So that's Windows 11 23H2 version 2. We're going to open that. This is going to take a minute to pop up. But the idea here is that you can take and remove a bunch of the garbage that Microsoft packs into their Windows ISO. Like all those modern Windows, the MSIX programs that they install that are like Windows Store apps, I guess. You can dump all that garbage in the river and let it float downstream and not have it in your ISO image, which is going to speed things up quite a bit. Of course it's not responding. Why would it respond when I'm doing something live? Oh, crap. And this on a virtual machine with 12 CPUs and 16 gigs of RAM, right? Why is it not responding? Because I'm live, that's why. That's the only thing I've got. So back to where I was going with MicroWin. So the other thing it can do is if you are, for instance, in my case, most of what I do with Windows, I run in virtual machines on Proxmox. So one of the things MicroWin can do is it can include the drivers that are on the machine that you're creating the new ISO image from. Which means instead of having to load the VirtIO utility disk ISO image, so the Windows installer even sees that you've got a virtual hard disk installed, you can basically inject that into your ISO image. So it's going to see that. It's going to see your your VirtIO network adapter and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to click this, import drivers from current system. And I'm going to give it JDL admin as a username. I'm not going to supply a password, so it's going to auto log in when I go to install this, right? It's going to be a local account, and it's going to auto log in because I'm not supplying a password. The great thing about this is that you don't have to end up answering their stupid security, quote unquote, questions as part of the install. So we're going to say start the process. And we are going to say MicroWin dash PVE for Proxmox. And we're going to say save. And so this is saying mounting Windows image. This may take a while. And it does. Running it on a VM, it does take a while. And okay, whatever. I'm good with this. The thing that has me, one of the reasons I'm wanting to test this more deeply is the machines at the library. I've got 2 or 3 different models. But basically I could use this and create a very streamlined ISO image. And I deploy almost all of our software via Action 1. And so this allows me to get things back up and running quickly with minimal stuff, minimal effort involved in having to strip all this stuff out to begin with. Although the Titus utility does make it fairly simple. But, you know, why install something just to remove it, right? So, anyway, so I did in fact go through this, and we'll jump over here. And so I installed MicroWin actually over here on this Proxmox instance, but since it's running here anyways, and we'll talk about why in a few minutes, but you did see a sneak peek of that a few minutes ago. Not that one, this one. So yeah, when you create the ISO with MicroWin through the Titus utility, when you get to the desktop for the first time after rebooting, after a fresh install with it, it does in fact put the Windows utility shortcut on the desktop, which is great. Because then, you can go in and install something like Chromium without ever having to open Edge or resort to, just going to the terminal and running winget to install Chrome or Chromium or Brave or not Edge. So, yeah, anyways. That's that. We'll let this run over here in this window for a few minutes, and that'll probably take a few minutes. Let me see. I've used the Chris Titus utility at your recommendation. Very useful. Only thing is I wish it found all brand specific bloatware. It found some general Windows stuff, but the Lenovo crap I had to do manually, still useful. Yeah, so Joe, that's where this MicroWin can come in handy. So what I would do now that I'll have MicroWin, a couple of MicroWin images, right, is if I had a new Lenovo machine, I would do a very, very minimal out of the box setup. Grab this utility, create a MicroWin ISO image, dump it off on a USB stick. Of course, creating it with the drivers from the machine you're running it on, right? And then basically reinstall Windows, because then you're getting rid of that vendor specific garbage, getting a very minimal Windows, but you're getting all the drivers without having to go hunt them down. So yeah. Gotta hand it to Microsoft though for resurrecting Internet Explorer into Edge, and now people use it again. Well, so the funny thing is that the current Edge is basically Chrome. It took the Chromium project and built on top of it. So yeah. 3 live streams happening plus Sunday Night Football content overload. So let's see. This might be a dumb question, but how would I export the drivers in that scenario? Re-reference this live stream because I ran through the process. I don't know if I don't know where the other window is for this, but so from this pane, let me see if I can come back here, make it a little larger. So all you have to do is check the box, import drivers from current system. So basically you're taking the installation ISO that you download from Microsoft, you run the Chris Titus utility, go to MicroWin, you get this all set up, import drivers from current system, and that will inject the drivers from the running system into the new ISO image that it's creating. So that to me is going to be a great time saver going forward. Wait for program to okay, this is going to take a while. Okay, so while we're waiting on this one, my notes are on my phone at this point. So, new edges Chromium, which is even funnier. Was watching on mobile, getting in the door, must have missed it. You're now on the big screen. Oh, import drivers, that is so cool. Yeah, that's when I saw Chris demo this, it's like I've got to talk to my audience about this, and you know, if that leads people from my audience over to Chris's channel, more power. I'm happy to give back. Um, so yeah. Um, anyway, um, so that's going to take a few minutes. The other topic that I've got before we get to another topic that I didn't add to my show notes. Um, so the other topic I've got is um, VirtualBox has a new release and they've redone their website. Check that out. Get started. Download macOS for Apple Silicon. Check that out. I haven't even had a chance to download this yet. I'll get more into that in a few minutes, but we might as well accept that and download that as well. So, and look at that, both of them are done. All right, let's just come over here. We'll open a new Finder window, downloads, and we are going to get VirtualBox 7 installed, or 7.1 installed. They've also changed their logo, which is fine. Install for all users. Install. Password. Password is not my password, don't worry. And I'm not even drinking tonight. So, yeah, we'll say keep that. And we're going to eject that. So now, if we run VirtualBox, VirtualBox quit unexpectedly. Hey, look at that. It's VirtualBox on Mac OS. So I think I had a beta of this installed before. So failed to open session for the virtual machine elementary OS. Okay, fine. So we will just remove and delete all files. So this works like VirtualBox anywhere else. For some reason that's still labeled a beta. That should not be labeled a beta. 7.0. Interesting. So yeah, you can do everything that you would normally do, and yeah, this is VirtualBox. We've all seen VirtualBox before. I'm 99% sure, but yeah, now they've got an official version of 7.1 on Apple Silicon. I'm still not sure why it's showing as beta up in the corner. But in any event, yeah, that should be good. So we are in the process of unmounting the image, and we'll take a look at the resulting image here real quick. So I haven't renewed anything yet. I haven't been given an invoice. I haven't been given a nudge that I need to renew yet. I will probably address that in my next email to him, which we'll talk some more about that in a moment. But I really want to know, what it's going to cost. I know the what is it? $247 is his normal rate for a month, which I'm not in a position to do that right at the moment. But we'll see. I know my numbers are looking better on the 3 videos that I've posted since working with him, but not in such a drastic way that it's meeting, I guess, the expectations he might have had for the channel. I've also been publishing less content, so I think that's part of the reason the channel's taken a hit and the revenue has taken a hit. I mean, all the way around, my stats are down right now. The last 3 videos that I've worked on with him have actually performed pretty well. While we're waiting on this crazy Windows thing, we'll jump back over here real quick. So the last 3 videos, so the Open Media Vault 7 video is well above my normal gray bar area. And it's made me over $1.50. Woo! I'm just raking in the bucks. So then the next one previous to that was the Ubuntu static IP video. Again, that got me 2 subscribers and a buck and a dime. Again, it's still above the gray area, but it's, as we're approaching the 2-week mark, it's not that much above that, I haven't done it before on my own, right? And then the next one previous to that was a Proxmox video, and that is performing a little better. That's pushing towards 26 days. So I view this as being part of the issue, being my niche. My thumbnails are better. My editing has changed. And I hope it's more engaging and keeping people's attention a little more. But, I haven't added a dramatic number of subscribers. My average view duration is a little bit longer than normal, right? But, if I go back one more previous, so this is the last video that I did on my own that was not a midweek news video. And granted, I did this as a Windows video, and it has gained me 7 subscribers, but not even $1 in revenue, right? So, you know, um, I'm not sure. Um, I'd like to think that my editing has been changing for the better the last month. I guess you're all the ones to tell me. Um, but you know, it is what it is. So the let me see if I can bring up. Um, this one. So, um, what are we at? So we're at 6,290 subscribers. At the end of July, so before I started working with a consultant, I was at 6,141. So you're talking 150 odd subscribers gained. And it wasn't until I think a week or week and a half into August that I really started working with him. Um, so yeah. So I was at 6232 at the end of August, and I've jumped from that to 6290 so far in September, right? I mean, looking back at my stat sheet for subscribers gained, um, third quarter has been a crapshoot. Um, but second quarter wasn't stellar either. So I'm hoping that fourth quarter can make up for this, and I can end the year somewhere around 6,500 subscribers. Maybe that's wishful thinking, but that's kind of my goal is to hit that mark. Did VirtualBox not run on Apple Silicon before now? Haven't used it in years. So they'd had a beta of 7.0 out, but it wasn't like an official, fully fleshed out release. I don't think it was completely native. So, yep, you and me both, Grish. The channel started with VirtualBox, just because I didn't have a lot of extra cash to invest at the time. I started the channel with software front and center, and I wasn't doing a lot of product reviews and things. Speaking of Proxmox, would be cool to have a members-only Proxmox network. What are they called? Nodes? Or would each of us be data centers? There's a possibility that we could do something like that. Yeah, I'd have to think on some logistics and whatnot. I hate to admit it, but I'm still using the 2 free licenses I have for ESXi. Yeah, um, I I dabbled with ESXi when I was teaching, because the curriculum that we were given was pushing VMware products. I also introduced students to VirtualBox at the time because it was free. and more full featured than VMware Player. At one point in time, I was running Zen Server. This was before XCPNG existed. And I think I did install Proxmox at one point. I don't remember. It's been a number of years now since I've been in that job. So, because I've been at my current job for 5 years at the beginning of this month. Whether I'll make it past 6, I don't know. 6 is the longest I've ever been at a single job. So, a lot's going to depend on what happens in the November election. If they vote down the bond and we're not going to be able to do the renovation on the library, I'm going to seriously be reworking my resume and looking for a better paying job. Because one of the things that's kept me at the library, quite honestly, is the prospect of being involved in the technology for a newly remodeled building. And if that incentive is gone, then, you know, the pittance I'm being paid is no longer going to be enough, and I'm going to probably pack up and move to Illinois. The consultant has got you to use a framework and be more focused. Whether you need to have him review everything is the question. Yeah, well, that is the part that's slowing me down drastically. Just having the template outline that he got me started with, which I've then turned into a template document that I can reuse. Just getting to that point, and thinking through the process of recording to a greater depth than what I had normally done previous, right? So this next video I'm working on, and I'm supposed to be turning it over to him for review tomorrow. Unless I pull an all-nighter, I don't think that's going to happen. However, the next video I'm working on is actually an expanded Windows tips video. And I've already got a vision in mind for what this video is going to look like and some of the B-roll that I'm going to record to make that vision a reality. Prior to working with the consultant, and I think this is where my value has come into the partnership. Part of my working with the consultant has, like you said, got me to think about things in a different way, use a framework. And honestly, I wish there was just a place where I could go and say, okay, here's a sample video file, and, you know, here's the framework that was used to create it, you know, and I don't know. It's just one of those things that I can see people who are in my shoes that came into YouTube with no video editing experience. I can see where there would be an opportunity to provide sort of a springboard framework, a larger framework, and you know, here's your source material, edit this down into a 5-minute video, and, you know, put your own spin on it, type of thing, and then just kind of be able to build from there. But um, I've definitely been thinking differently about, an audio track in the bottom to help fill in dead spots. I've been more conscious about, okay, this is basically just a progress bar. We can cut snippets out, and whatever footage remains, we can just speed it up and take the actual audio track from the recorded video off, and just let that underlying music track play, right? So I've definitely been thinking through this in a different way. I'm never going to be Steven Spielberg or Kevin Smith, even, but I've definitely got a different frame of reference for the whole thing, I guess, is my point. Um, I also use Sigma NAS for my NAS. Waiting for the dust to settle on a couple of free software products. There's no magic potion to gain followers fast. It's continual improvement. I think if you stick to what you've learned, you'll have better growth than in the past. I absolutely agree, Joe. The best YouTube growth is slow and steady, but look at Linux Tech Tools, Tech Tips was never a leap to the numbers, right? Um, the point that I'm trying to get to is I've been at this for nearly 10 years. Well, 10 years ago, last month, I released my first video. There was a gap. And then, yeah, a couple years later, I really started pushing. Um, I've done the slow and relatively steady. I've done live streams. I've done long form videos. I've worked out a lot of the early complaints people had about not having balanced audio and video quality and this and that. My lighting is good. My background stuff is good. It's I just need to find some topics that hit. Um, right. There's no magic bullet. And yeah, I'm doing the continuous quality improvement, or Kaizen, as the Japanese say. Um, so, but it's I'm not even sure if my spreadsheet tells me where I was at the end of last year. So 12/31/2023, I was at 5,355 um, subscribers. So I've gained from the end of last year 935 subscribers. Um, Now, the thing that gets me is that only like 16% of people that watch my videos are subscribed, which is part of the reason that I push push the idea just a little bit when I'm doing a live stream, and you've got to be a subscriber for at least 5 minutes before you can leave a comment. And it's just one of those things where there are places that I've got a line that even if it's not the quote unquote norm, I'm willing to draw a line in the sand. And maybe that's hurt me as far as growth. I am not shy about the fact that let's see, what was it? Permissions. I don't know. Anyways, community. There are quite a number of people that made some sort of derogatory comment at me and usually more than once, and they got the band hammer brought down on their heads. They can still watch my content, but their comments are never ever going to be seen by anybody but their own fingertips. So, yeah, I'm not opposed to uh, cutting people loose. I I have a BS threshold that I'm willing to put up with, and beyond that threshold, you're SOL. And hopefully the abbreviations translate well. Um, Success breeds success, absolutely. We can't compete with the cute hot chicks. Let's just face that. Right, right. Um, yeah. Well, or the young Canadian dudes that have all kinds of sponsors and um, money out the yin yang and yeah. Anyways, slowly getting into the YouTube algorithms too, though. One of your videos randomly popped up in my feed while I was looking for other things amongst all the big channels, and was how I got here. That's good to know. I can appreciate that. It's funny. It's funny in a way to me that when I'm logged into my other um, account, sometimes videos from this channel will pop up on my other account if I just happen to be on YouTube with that account, which is kind of funny to me. Seeing so many of them creating courses on YouTube success always makes me cringe and roll my eyes. Yeah. Um, I will never limit who can watch my content. Yeah, I don't think you can limit who can watch the content, but where I do draw a line myself is who can comment on my content. Um, yeah, I also respond to every comment as long as YouTube passes them to me. Yeah, I don't always type something, but I will always give a comment a thumbs up or a heart. Um, if somebody is just saying thanks, Jeremy, then they're more likely to get a thumbs up or just a quick thanks for watching in return. But engagement is engagement, right? As people keep pointing out to me. Let's check on our Windows machine. ISO image is located here, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So now we can go ahead and close this and close that. And so what I need to do now is bring this over here. That one, this one. Copy it to the NAS. And then with a little luck, if this actually does what it was supposed to do, we should be able to install Windows on Proxmox with no extra driver disk, which is, to me, the acid test for what I want it to be able to do. I'll do this for a minute. Okay, so we got that done. we'll go ahead and close this and close that, and we'll jump back here. So what we're going to do, we're going to start by shutting this one down. And we're going to create a new, let's see how much space I got left. Oh, easy. We're going to create a new VM. We're going to call it MicroWin PVE. Oh, wait a minute. I can't do that yet. Getting ahead of myself. We're going to go to ISO images, upload, select file, and Phantom Freak. We need to upload the MicroWin PVE image first. Upload. Then we can create the new VM and see if it all works. I'm really, really hoping that this works out. Is that a Hackers movie reference on your NAS? Yes. Actually, all my NAS boxes, other than my Open Media Vaults boxes, are Hackers references. So I've got Acid Burn, I've got Zero Cool, I've got Phantom Freak, Lord Nikon, and Serial Killer. Yeah, me and the movie Hackers, we go back. I spent 6 years running a video rental store, and I would play the movie Hackers. If it wasn't checked out, I would play the movie Hackers multiple times a day during my shift just to have background noise in the video store. So, and why is that stalled at 24.75%? Yeah. Well, hopefully it's going to go past that this time. Nope. Well, we might be dead in the water here. Abort. So, it's cheesy, but I love that movie. Yes. I found the English world region setting during a Windows install to be sufficient for me to not have any bloat. Then I switch it back to English after getting logged in. It's clean Windows. Interesting. Hackers, one of the best movies out there. I wore out more than one VCR tape of it. Yup. When I left the video store, the VHS copy was pretty ratty. So here's a story from back in the day. While I try to figure out this issue. Oh, I bet I know what it was. I bet that wasn't done copying. So I had a coworker. Now, mind you, this was back in the 90s. I had a coworker, and he caught on to the fact that I loved the movie Hackers, right? So back at that point in time, when a customer would pay with a credit or debit card, the machine that we were using that would generate the receipts would print the person's whole credit card or debit card number on the receipt. So this person, he decided that he was going to take random receipts and copy down the numbers, and he used them to order. Let's see, how can we say this to not get myself booted off from YouTube? He decided to use it to subscribe to adult video content sites, shall we say. One of the mistakes he made was grabbing my card. So, yeah, he was terminated. He was terminated. So I want to find out why. MicroWin 23H2. This is MicroWin PVE. I'm going to copy that again. Replace the file in the destination. See if this works any better. Anyways, yeah, he got fired. He denied it. He tried to blame it on me because I liked the movie Hackers. Actually had this in his head that watching that movie somehow made you a hacker or something. I don't know. He was a piece of work. He got off with he got fired from that job, but he got off on the crime with a slap on the wrist because he was like 2 weeks away from going into the military. So yeah. Okay, I've got that back on my NAS. So now I just need to come back over here and try to get it uploaded to Proxmox again. See if this works this time. So, yeah. Let's see. My network is mostly based in 2001. My desktop is HAL 9000. My NAS is Monolith. My router is AE35. Nice. Quick way to a jail cell. Yep. I was really hoping he was going to do some time, but that's not the way it worked out. Good old days when it wasn't free, right? Yeah. Nice word for it. Yeah, well, you know. Okay, so apparently that ISO image did not turn out as well as the previous one I did. Because that is refusing to upload to Proxmox. So, I suppose I could try this one. Let's try this. And maybe it'll upload to this Proxmox server better. I'm still trying, people. We are samurai, the keyboard cowboys. Oh, yes. Now I've got a desire to go watch Hackers. Um, I don't know. Oh, it's uploading to the other server. Yeah, I don't even know. Yeah, this one it's already over 50%. Can't explain it. Can't explain it. Once I get some more stuff moved around, I got to get the file cabinet out of here. Then I am potentially going to bring the server, the mini server rack, back into this room. And hopefully get a few things like the Proxmox hooked up to the 2.5 gig network and make some of these processes a whole lot less painful for me to sit and demonstrate, right? I had 10 jobs over my 49-year career. One manager served 3 years, and 2 others were fired and only got suspended sentences. I believe it. I've worked with a couple managers that should have done jail time. Okay, so let me go off screen, I guess. So let's try this one. How much room do I have on here? Not much. Let's look at this one. Summary. Okay, so I could give it like 80 gigs. So we will try MicroWin PVE. And we will do this one and MicroWin PVE ISO. QEMU agent, which I know is on there. We'll give this like 80 gigs because it's, 2004 and we're running Windows 11. I'll give it 12 cores, I guess, and 16 gigs of RAM, right? Hopefully that will help the cause and get it to install a little quicker. Finish. Where to go? There it is, MicroWin PVE. So make sure this has the local scaling. And we'll pop this one out. See how long this takes to start actually showing some progress. It does in fact work, but it may take a minute. Well, my battery is getting low on my phone. So, National Ebook Day. Well, isn't that fancy? I've got 4 more days to go on the Silver Reader Kindle challenge. For anybody that may remember Frank Zappa and his daughter Moon Unit. They had a song in like 1982 called Valley Girl. Anyway, I am reading her book, and it is a great read. So that did not pull the drivers. Well, all right, that did not work the way I wanted it to. Nope. That certainly did not work the way I wanted it to. All right, well, back to the drawing board on that one. Yes, quit. So we can go ahead and stop that. I'll screw around with that more later. So I guess, let's see, we're an hour and 17 minutes in. I don't know how long I'll yak about this last thing because it's going to be an upcoming video as well. So we might go another 30 minutes. So I have been messing around, and part of where I lost a bunch of time this weekend is this right here. This is Fog version 1.6 beta. So as you can see, and maybe I'll make this a little bit larger, maybe that's a little better for people. As you can see, in the 1.6 version, they moved from having the menu across the top with just icons to having it down the side with the option to collapse it, right? It's all good. Until I learn the layout of this, I'm not going to collapse it. So I have been playing around with this for a good chunk of the weekend, and like I said, I lost a bunch of time because I had some issues. Part of those were me being kind of stupid and missing a really simple setting. I'll admit. And up to the point of this weekend, I'd had some ups and downs with Fog 1.6 beta, and I've been thinking about doing a video for a while on this just to raise awareness, get more people testing the beta version, and potentially reporting bugs, right? So when I installed the beta version on a fresh Ubuntu server VM, I was able to register hosts, but when I went to do a capture task, so basically bringing the image from the machine up to the server, right? That's the capture task. It would die on me partway through. So I thought, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. So I installed a fresh Ubuntu server, did all the updates, and I installed the 1.5.10 development version, right? Which is going to be the latest, greatest stable release plus whatever extras they've been working on more recently. So I installed that. Part of what you see here under host management, the Linux Lite was, and the Linux Lite clone were done on 1.5.10. The clone 2 was part of my testing on 1.6. So I verified that 1.5.10 was working. I was able to boot over the network using Pixie, register the host, capture an image, and then deploy that image back out. 1.5.10 has been rock solid. So then I thought, okay, I'll go into Proxmox, I'll take a snapshot so I can roll back if I have to, and upgrade it to 1.6 beta. So I did that, I started testing, and it was actually going okay. So there are a couple of oddities at this point in time. If I come into images, when I capture the Linux Lite image from 1510, it shows an on server size of 3.08 gigabytes, GIB. The host hard disk size is 16.09. When I come back to images and I look at MicroWin information, must have somehow updated. So there was a delay. So it would show the host hard disk size, but it was showing the on server size as 0. Even when I had finished capturing the image and then deployed it to another VM, the whole time the on server size information was showing 0. And yeah, so it's been a little perplexing to me. But this is visually, it is quite the improvement, right? The basic functionality is all still there. It's in large part just a visual update for this new version, right? What all they've changed behind the scenes besides the user interface, I'm not entirely sure. But this is a pretty big graphical overhaul. Now, just for the sake of argument, we come over here and we'll say this one. And we'll come in, I don't know, a ways. So this is what the dashboard looked like before. You had the icons across the top. Again, it didn't look bad, but it was a little bit long in the tooth, right? So, yeah, I've got this idea in my head that, you know, since this video was a 76 times outlier, and I don't know, in the time since it was released, which was what, back in, was that March of this year? Can't be. Oh, March of 2023. 34 subscribers and about $35 worth of revenue, or a little over $34 worth of revenue. So my thought process is, you know, after I get this Windows update or Windows tool video out, which I'm hoping I can release it on Tuesday. The next video I'm going to be working on is fog. Going over the some of the differences, some of the little quirks I've found in the beta. But the developers of fog had reached out to me asking if I would do a video on the beta version. So it's taken me longer than I'd like because I ran into some issues. But now that I've got a working install, um, I'm ready to jump into this and uh, make a video, and hopefully the video will be well received, and I will get another boost of viewers, or at least it would be nice. Let's see. Um, let's see. Catch up on some comments. Got Hackers in 4K a couple years ago. I've also got a Blu-ray copy of that in 4K. Tried to visit the one in jail to just sit there and laugh my entire allocated time, but somehow had the ability to ignore my visitor request. Go figure. It's pretty dark. Hopefully I get that opportunity with at least a couple of those I had to endure in my pre-retirement job. I don't forget. It was very dark working with and for some of them. I can only imagine. Paid off by corrupt consulting firms. He always tried to pull in anyone who might be a threat to their corruption. That's why I retire 3 years sooner than I originally planned. Remind me to never work for the government. Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think I am really bitter, huh? Could be something to consider when you have no other choice, like being laid off during a recession. Jason, welcome in. My current situation, 4 weeks since my ex-employer decided to cut costs, and I'm out of work, trying to apply for any company. Shows I'm desperate when I'm applying for Adobe. Well, hey, you can get them from the inside and convince them to put out a Linux version, right? Not that I'd buy it, because I hate subscriptions. I made that choice, and one of the criminals reminded me of that as he... Right. I need to write a book about my employment experiences. That would be an interesting read. I need to wait just under 21 months, though, to get past some of the legal limitations I'm subjected to as a former government employee. Sorry, sort of hijacked the chat. No worries. No worries at all. Okay, so yeah, I think that about covers it. So yeah, I'm having some good fun with Fog again. I'm very happy that they have done this visual overhaul. Hopefully they will, start working on some of the innards in upcoming versions after this goes stable. But yeah, I'm pretty happy at this point with the running system, and so just to show something here, the part that tripped me up. This is OpenSense. So for some reason, I had kept thinking that where I would put the configuration is under TFTP server. Well, OpenSense also has a section for network booting. And this is actually where you need to put this. Apparently, I got lazy when I was using Unify all those years because I had that memorized, and I'm still working on this one. So, yeah. Um, the Linux system I captured was set for BIOS. The Windows 11 system obviously is UEFI. So this configuration, I guess what I could do is do this and that, and then no, do it this way. There's always more than one way to skin a cat, right? There. Now everybody should be able to see it. Might be a little pixelated, but you get the idea. Server IP, next server IP is the address of the fog server, right? ipixie.kkpxe is the BIOS file name, and then the snp only.efi is the EFI file name. So with this setup, I've successfully been able to boot both BIOS and UEFI over the network using Pixie boot with a single configuration, right? So this makes me happy. TVJ, welcome in. All right, so turn off the stupid lights on my keyboard. All right, I think that pretty much covers it. So we've talked about fog. We've talked about what else do we talk about? VirtualBox 7.1 on Apple Silicon. We've talked about MicroWin, which for whatever reason this one didn't actually pull those drivers like I had anticipated it doing. So I got to go back to the drawing board on that. And then we talked about Netbird at the beginning. So I think we're in good shape. We're an hour and 34, almost 35 minutes into this nonsense. 11 people are still watching, including one of those over on Twitch. So, yeah. Does network booting use DHCP option, as in points to the server if the host reaches out? Yes. It's DHCP option 66 and 67, which from that screenshot I had up. So next server is option 66, and option 67 is the file name. So anyway, gotta love a late night password reset phone call, which is what I just got. After 10 o'clock, after 10:30, or at almost 10:30. That's a little ridiculous on a Sunday night. Nice number of likes, but Jeremy, you could always use more. Everyone, yes, please. I'm not above taking any suggestions and pushing that idea out there. So the one thing I had on my notes originally that I'm going to push to next week is Step CA, which is a certificate authority system that you can run locally for PKI, public key infrastructure. And so what I would love to be able to figure out how to do with this is to run my own PKI infrastructure. And or run my own certificate authority rather, and be able to create and assign SSL certificates to all my internal servers. So, yeah, that's one of the next projects. I need to get this Windows video done and get the fog video done, and then I can think about, whether this Step CA software is going to be a video, if it's going to be part of a live stream, if it's going to be both. Yeah. PKI is one of those things that I've made a couple of attempts, and just because of my lack of familiarity with it, I've always ended up crashing and burning on it and abandoning the project. So yeah, I'm going to make another stab at it, because at this point I can use it both for my internal servers here at home, and I can use it at the library for internal servers there. And even to the point of maybe I can actually apply it to the printers, which would be fun. But hey, I guess it's all good. 15 people watching. Right on. The person is just starting their day, works 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. You should make a video about Step CA. Okay. I'm sort of on the fence of whether to do it in a live stream or whether to do a standalone video, or like I said, maybe it'll be both. Maybe I'll just do a preview teaser next week in the live stream, and then put out a full-length video. Get paid for doing that, I hope. 24/7 on call. Salary, which means I will just go home early on Friday. Nice. Sorry, everyone. I think overindulgence of the vodka and OJ this evening. 15 people watching. Gotta stay on. May have to do an intermission in a few minutes. I might just need to get up and walk around for a minute if I'm going to keep going. So yeah, 6 people need to hit like. Please do. All right. So we've kind of been all over the board tonight. We've talked Windows. We've talked Linux. We've talked Proxmox. We've talked Fog. What else is there to talk about? I don't know. Yeah. Oh, I know what that is. That's okay. Monarca. I really need to update this. Probably quite out of date. So one server I've still got up and running apparently. which I thought I had killed it a while ago, um, is my Monarca server. I guess you could call this a long-term evaluation, right? Um, I really need to do a reinstall on it. Last backup 11 months ago. So, yeah, there's that. Which I don't think that machine is going to be around much longer. I log in with this account. No, that's not going to work. Well, completed successful backup on Sunday, September 15th, 2024. That would be today. So apparently it's still running and it's backing up my Mac. But I don't think I'm running the newest version. This is version 5.0.3. I think they're up over version 6 now. This is one system I've not been good about keeping updated. So let's see what their newest version is. Maybe they'll give me a version number here. Okay, so 6.0 beta is in beta, apparently. Alright, well, that makes me feel less bad. So the 5.05 is probably the latest stable version. 6.0 is in release candidate stage. From August 23rd. Alright. Yeah, at some point I'm going to have to just try to back that machine up and then run an upgrade on it. Don't even know if I remember my credentials for that one. So oh, that's running Debian. Okay. That ought to keep it busy for a minute. Yeah, I just I don't know, for whatever reason I have not been real good about keeping this one updated. One of those out of sight, out of mind type of situations, I guess. Let's see. Have a good one, Jay. I need to get back to my Venezuela girl doing a reaction video on Interstellar. So hit like and get me off my soapbox. Want to hear a funny family tech support situation I had? Oh, this has got to be good. 89-year-old grandmother called me yesterday saying that when she puts the Hallmark channel, there is an annoying woman speaking what the people are doing on screen. Man and woman walk holding hands. Apparently she had turned on the SAP and there was a visually impaired option. I told her to close her eyes and enjoy. Oh, that's classic Joe for you. Um, all right. Well, we're losing people at this point. We're down to 10. Um, we're down to 10. It's been an hour and 47 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it a night. I probably should stay up and try to record that Windows video, but I know it's going to be a long video, so I'm almost just wanting to get up in the morning and just push through the whole thing. Recording, editing, B-roll, the whole nine. And maybe I can pass it off to Mr. Consultant by the around noon, and he can review it in the afternoon. I really don't want that video to be long, but it's supposed to be 20 tips for Windows 11, and even thinking through this, if I do 2 minutes per tip, it's going to be a 20-minute video, and that's even without a hook at the beginning and a closeout at the end. And so yeah, I'm really hoping I can condense it. So some of it I think I'm just going to do screenshots and talk briefly about the tip and move on, and just I'm going to fill out the description with the links to different things. So anyways, hopefully on Tuesday that video will be coming out. On that note, we've just lost another viewer, so we're down to 9. Number nine. I can't do it as annoying as the Beatles did it. Sorry. So yeah, thank you everybody for coming out, and yeah, hopefully Tuesday will be another video. Thursday likely for midweek news, and then it's on to building out the fog video, and that'll probably be the following Tuesday. So everybody have a good night. Richard, I did see your email. I just have not gotten to responding to it yet. I was eyeballs deep into my fog troubleshooting this afternoon. So I will read that more closely and get back with you tonight or tomorrow morning. So, all right. On that note, have a good night, everybody, and take care of yourselves. And we'll see you next time.